Hello, welcome to Commander Coliseum. My name is Justin, or Jay. I am joined with me by my cohort, Justin number 2.
Justin number 2 from Synergy Sanctum.
Yep, and today we have another deck tech. We're going to be working on all 5 of the Marvel Secret Lairs. Today we are talking about Wolverine. Best there is. He is a 1 red green 3 mana 2/2, and he has unrivaled lethality. Double all damage Wolverine would deal. At the beginning of each end step, if Wolverine dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on him. So whenever he fights somebody, he gets stronger. And he has 1 and a green to regenerate Wolverine.
Just in case he won't survive the battle.
Yep, so he's got that healing factor. This deck tech is less than $35. Not counting the secret lair purchase. So if you buy the secret lair, or you have just bought Wolverine as the commander as a single, this deck list will have all the key pieces you need to have a competitive deck for less than $35 in addition to him.
That's wild.
That's great. Yeah, this deck was put together by Justin at Synergy Sanctum, so make sure you follow his YouTube channel as well. The cards that are included are going to be in this deck list, but if you don't have some of them, that's fine. They are replaceable, but because we are making this video or this deck list with the consideration of you buying the secret lair, we're going to include them. So the first card is Berserk, which is an instant and a green, and it says cast a spell only before combat damage step, and it says target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is its power. At the beginning of its next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn, which is not that big of a deal for Wolverine because you can regenerate him.
Nice. And
we have the Ozolith, which is the adamantium bonding tank. So even though you're going to be mainly playing with Wolverine this turn, if he does get removed, the counters will get put onto the adamantium bonding tank, and when you replay Wolverine, you can put the counters back onto him. Also, Rite of Passage, which is 2 and a green for whenever a creature is dealt damage. A creature you control is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
Seems good.
Pretty good. And Rhythm of the Wild, which is just a great aggro card. Also 1 red green, creature spells you control can't be countered, and non-token creatures you control have Riot. What does Riot do, Justin?
Riot, I believe, is it either gains haste or it gets a +1 counter.
Yep, that's what it is. And
wow, that was a quiz.
Also, we have Unnatural Growth, which
the Groot card.
The Wolverine Groot, which is 1 green. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn.
Gross.
Which, if you double something, you might as well double it again.
Yeah, why not? All right, so the overall, before we get into the specific cards, the overall strategy of this deck is obviously a Voltron strategy, attempting to buff Wolverine as much as we possibly can so that he can fight and deal damage to other creatures. We are only running basic lands, but all I really did for this deck tech is I used EDH Rec, and I grabbed cards that were $2 or less for the most part to make sure that we stayed within that budget to make this affordable for everybody.
The lands are only basic, but it's red-green. It's only 2 colors, which isn't that big a deal, and there's a lot of dual lands that are within your budget
if you wanted to upgrade it,
if you want to add to it. So the first strategy we have is Buffs Bub. Buffs Bub. So we're going to be buffing Logan, aka Wolverine, to get him stronger. So the first one we have is that Berserk card, like we read earlier. Makes him strong. You regen him so he doesn't die. So that's basically a 3 mana card to double his power, which is great because then he deals combat damage and he doubles it again. So out of nowhere, you can just kill somebody. The next one is Bulk Up, which is double target creature's power until end of turn for 1 and a red. So same thing, you can just double him, he'll get stronger, and he kills somebody again. Gift of the Viper, which is an instant for a green. Put a +1 counter, a reach counter, and a death touch counter on target creature and untap it. So you've already swung with Wolverine. People think it's safe to attack you. Not today,
JK,
bub.
death touch.
Not today, bub. Death touch, untap it, block something, kill it, and then at the end of the turn, get a +1/+1 counter on him again.
Yeah, take that.
Yep. And then we got Invigorating Surge, which is 2 and a green for an instant. Put a +1 counter on target creature control. Then double the number of +1/+1 counters on that creature.
Oh my gosh.
You know what you need when you have +1/+1 counters?
What?
More +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, you need more.
You need more.
Yeah. That's coming later.
Exactly. And we have Psychotic Fury, which is 1 in a red, and target multicolored creature gains double strike until end of turn. He's already dealing double damage. Might as well deal double strike.
Yeah.
So he
Hold
hits
my
twice.
beer. Hold my
Yes.
beer. How do I double the damage more? Who's double strike, mofo?
I heard you like doubles, so we doubled the doubles.
Yeah. Wolverine likes doubles.
We like
FYI.
doubling things.
And you get to draw a card to double it again.
Yeah, why not draw more cards? Like into our next card, Teamer Battle Mage. So target creature gains double strike until end of turn. And it also gains trample if he has power 4 or greater. That's great for 1 in a red.
Really, really important to note. I know we're going to get into it later, but you don't need to attack with this deck. Who likes to attack in commander? What a risk to lose your commander.
Oh, but because he has the regenerate, you don't really have to be scared of attacking. You just keep 2 mana open. If someone blocks or does something, you just regen him. The next one we have is Unleash Fury for 1 in a red. Double the power of target creature until end of turn. Just another double power.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you might as well double him before he deals double damage. So if he's hitting someone for 6, you double him to 12, and then he deals double damage, which means he deals 24 damage and 1 hit somebody. No one's going to see it coming. And we have Adamantium Bonding Tank, which is just there because, if he loses those counters that we're putting on him and that he's gaining, then we want to get him back easily. The next card is Fangs of Colonia, which is a great card for +1/+1 counters. It is super cheap, 1 in a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature that had a +1/+1 counter put on this way. It has overload, but we're not really using it for the overload.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. Yeah, he has 3 counters. You put 4 more counters on him. That's easy. Easy to do.
Yeah, Wolverine survives battles and death, so who cares?
Yeah,
it's
who
just
cares?
for Wolverine.
Yeah, and if I'm playing Wolverine, I want to kill someone with Wolverine. I don't need more.
I'm not going to use Ash
backup.
Root Animus, which is our next card.
Our next card. It's a 4/4, 2 in a red and a green. He does have trample, which is nice. Wolverine does not have trample.
But Ash Root gives it to him.
Oh, it does. When this creature attacks, another target creature you control gains trample and gets +X/+X till end of turn, where X is this creature's power. Moving on to our second strategy. More buffs,
Same
bub.
strategy.
Yes, more buffs.
Yeah, that wasn't enough.
You need more than just,
Wasn't enough, bub.
You don't just need 10 cards. You need a few more. So we have Dusk Shell Crawler, which is a creature for 0/3 power and toughness. He says when he enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control, the +1/+1 counter on it has trample. So he gives Wolverine trample, which he didn't have. And then we have our good and faithful Forgotten Ancient. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. That means you're getting at least 3 or 4 +1/+1 counters a rotation of the turns.
Gross.
And that means you buff Wolverine. But if they kill Forgotten Ancient, that's fine because it's 1 less removal card on Wolverine.
On our guy, yeah.
On Logan. And the next card we have is Helena and Elena Partners, which is 2 red and a green for a 2/3 human ranger. He has first strike and reach. And he says at the beginning of combat in your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is Helena and Elena's power. That creature gains haste until end of turn.
Gross.
And next card is Frantic Strength. 2 and a green for an enchantment aura with flash. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has trample.
Hey, you know, that's a lot of talk about +1 counters. Is there any way to get more +1 counters on a budget?
I would like to have more +1/+1 counters, which is a great card. Hardened Scales, 1 green, enchantment. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, put that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead.
Say +1 counters again.
+1/+1.
He even looks like Wolverine.
He looks like Wolverine in a samurai suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just makes Wolverine get more counters. If it's an enchantment that gives Wolverine double his passive ability.
Yeah.
Which is
Here's
great.
an additional one.
Hey, you fought
Here
a creature.
you go, buddy. Good job.
Get 2 +1/+1 counters instead. That's way better.
How big can you get your Wolverine with this deck?
Yeah, and you know, this works with all abilities, including our next card, Hydra's Growth, which says
Gross.
when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. And for 2 and a green. And it says at the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on enchanted creature.
Holy crap.
That plus Hardened Scales is going to already give it +2 counters. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, he's going to get doubled +1. And then we have our next card, Rhythm of the Wild, which comes in the Secret Lair, an enchantment for 1 red green. Creature spells you control can't be countered, and non-token creatures you control have a riot. So you'll enter with a +1 counter or haste.
Probably the +1 counter,
Probably
given the
the
focus
counters.
of this deck.
You want to get Logan strong. You know, you don't need him to attack right away. You just want to get him big and bulky. You want him to pump the iron.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. You've seen them biceps. And then Unnatural Growth for 1 green enchantment at the beginning of each combat, double the power of toughness of each creature you control until end of turn.
Nice.
I mean, that's just good.
Do you think Wolverine will be dealing damage in this deck?
I think he's going to be dealing
Just
a lot
a
of
little
damage.
bit?
Yeah.
So maybe Rite of Passage is a good include as well, because it was in the deck.
It's also in the Secret Lair. It's also in the Secret Lair. Yeah, it's a great include, a great card to have in the Secret Lair. I do hope to see an X-23 soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, she's right there.
She's on this card, but she's not real. But what does it do? It says whenever a creature you control is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So when you have it fight a creature, and it gains a +1/+1 counter, and then at the end of the turn, it gains another +1/+1 counter.
Are you foreshadowing right now? Is this deck gonna fight things?
I think it will fight things. So
at instant and sorcery speed?
yes, yes, it will. Going on to our next turn, fight.
Strategy.
Fight. Yeah, the next strategy is fight. We have our first card, Ancient Animus. 1 and a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. If it's legendary, then it fights target creature an opponent controls.
Is Wolverine legendary?
Wolverine is a legendary mutant.
Oh shit.
All right, the next card is Bite Down. 1 and a green. Instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature.
Not even fighting, just stabbing it with his adamantium claws.
No, he's biting them.
Oh, he's biting it?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's got some fangs.
Good call. Yeah, bite.
Yep.
Yeah,
Biting.
bite down. Yeah.
Bite down. Yep, and then Cosmic Hunger for 1 and a green. He deals damage to another creature, player, or planeswalker, or battle. Battles are relevant, right? Players.
Yeah, battles are so good. Oh my gosh, what a great
battles.
What a great mechanic, Wizards of the Coast.
Are there any battles in this deck?
No, I will never put battles on my deck text.
Maybe next year. Maybe when they're retro.
F battles, bro.
Infectious Bite is our next card. For 1 and a green, instant target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Each opponent gets a poison counter. Poison counters aren't really relevant, but it's there.
Wolverine's just gonna like ripping up the board, bro.
Yep, and our next one is Mutant's Prey. Target creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it fights target creature an opponent controls. There's that fight mechanic again, so you can get more counters on Wolverine.
Yeah, and do you like fighting? Because then you also have Pit Fight, Pounce, and Prize Fight all cost 2 mana, and Wolverine's fighting some shit again. And with Prize Fight, you get a treasure off of it.
Yep, that's why it's a prize fighter. And then we have Rabid Gnaw, which says target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Then it deals damage equal to power target or creature you don't control.
Dang.
And Ram Through which is almost the same thing, except it doesn't get +1/+0.
Crazy how many deal damage cards there are in
There are a lot of damage
for a
dealing
creature
ones.
like Wolverine. It's like Magic's been waiting for Wolverine.
Yep, they have a whole bunch of cards ready for him. Like the next one, his signature slam, 2 and a green, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then each modified creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control.
Ooh, this card was made for Forgotten Ancient for sure.
And then we got Soulfire, 2 and a red. Finally, a red card. Just kidding, we just had a few. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any target. This includes players.
Yeah, Wolverine's it's not enough to just eat all your creatures' opponents. He wants to come for players too.
This does work with Unrivaled Lethality, which is double all damage Wolverine would deal.
So just imagine him being beefed up from all these buffs, bub, and then he just wipes out a player.
It's disgusting. He deals damage and then it gets doubled. So
for
if he's
$35 more, I already spent $40, $50 for the secret lair, $35 more. I get to just deal damage to someone's face.
Yep. And then we have Tail Swipe, which is a green, and choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. If you cast a spell during your main phase, the creature you control gets a +1/+1 until end of turn. Then those creatures fight. You don't really need the +1/+1 most of the time, but it's helpful.
Yeah, you like fighting? How about Titanic Brawl? You can do the same thing, but it costs 1 less, so it's only a green to not only beef Wolverine up, but then have him fight someone else.
No. So you read it. It costs 1 less if he's already beefed up.
What?
Yeah, it costs 1 less, so it's only a green
he
mana.
has to already have a counter. Damn, have we been not doing that this whole
we've
time?
been doing it
I
this
just
whole
assumed
time.
that he has the counter already.
Nope, he already. If he has a counter, he gets 1 less.
Good call out.
And then he fights target creature you don't control. So it's only 1 green mana to fight something. That's great.
And then Windswift Slice, you like dealing damage to stuff? Well, what if we dealt that damage and then we got a bunch of elf warriors to back up my bro?
Yeah, or blocks, chump blocks.
Yeah, chump blocks while Wolverine's fighting shit.
Yep. That's great. And then our last one, which is our only equipment in a Voltron style
artifact,
deck.
yeah.
It's actually pretty impressive. I thought we were going to have a lot more artifacts, but I mean, I don't want
need
Wolverine using anything other than his claws.
No, it's just a rant. It's just a quick stab with the claws. So
we got Fiend Lash, the only artifact equipment for 1 and a red. He's equipped for 2 and a red. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has reach, and whenever equipped creature is dealt damage, it deals damage equal to its power to target, player, or planeswalker.
Gross.
And again, that gets doubled by Wolverine's ability. So if you equip him with Fiend Lash and then you have him fight things, he will deal double the damage he is dealt to any target, player, or planeswalker.
Gross.
That is a great card.
But hey, maybe you don't like doing all of this in instant speed. Maybe you like doing the fighting and damage on your turn.
I just like fighting in general.
Good news, you can do it on both turns.
I was hoping we had more fighting.
We have sorceries that are just limited to your own turn.
Yes, so the first fight would be Aggressive Instinct. 1 and a green, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Just a good basic fight card. 2 green. Okay. What is the average mana cost of this deck? Like 4 mana, like 3, less than 2?
But you know what? If 2 green's too expensive for you, then we have Animus Might. It costs 2 less if it targets Wolverine, which it will. And he could deal damage equal to twice his power, as if it's not enough.
And then it gets doubled again.
Yeah, bananas.
Man, that is crazy. That's a lot of
Pretty
doubling.
scary
I heard
deck.
you like doubling.
I do like doubling.
There's no doubling season in this card, but in this deck. But if you have it, you might as well throw it in. I mean, it's literally the budget of the entire deck. Yeah. So the next one we have is Beastie Beatdown from Duskmourn, which is a red and a green, and choose target creature you control and target creature an opponent controls. If there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard,
there will be,
put +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. The creature you control deals damage equal to its power to the creature an opponent controls. That's a lot of words, but basically,
a lot of words to say Wolverine's gonna stab something.
He gets bigger and he stabs someone. That's it.
And maybe you don't like. We've been talking a lot about single targets. Maybe you want to target everything. Well, now we have Chandra's Ignition for 5 mana. And Wolverine's going to do it to everybody, because why not?
Yeah, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent.
Gross.
Yep. So if you get him buffed up, this does get doubled by his ability. So if he is at, 6 damage, or if you actually can get Wolverine to 11 damage, he will kill each opponent.
Bananas.
With 1 card, which is not that hard with all the +1/+1 counters we're getting in this deck. So we also have Domri's Ambush, which is a sorcery for red and a green to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. So there's a lot of control in this deck, taking out other players, combo pieces, creatures that they need to accelerate their mana dorks. They're discounting cards. You can just take care of all of them. There's so much removal in this deck. The next one is Felling Blow. 2 and a green. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls, which gets doubled again.
So really important that you're playing opponents that play creatures, because if you're not, this deck's useless. Don't buy it.
No. Actually, if they're not playing creatures, you'll just hit them anyways.
Yeah, I guess you just attack with Wolverine.
You just attack with Wolverine, and you deal double damage, and it'll be done in a few turns. The next one is, if you're already punching people, you might as well hit them with Gravitic Punch. Gravitic, I think. Gravitic. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Gravitic Punch. 3 and a red. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target player.
And did you like doing that? Did you like removing that player with Wolverine? Well,
I did like hitting them in the face with Wolverine.
Guess what? For discarding a card, you could do it all again.
Oh, you can hit someone in the face again?
Yeah, Jumpstart, bro.
Wow. Jumpstart's not just a pack?
Yeah, it's not just a booster pack that you can't find anywhere.
It's actually a keyword?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. No, these are some hard-hitting questions. The next card is Hard-Hitting Question. A sorcery for a single green. What a great value. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control.
Yeah. And to round out our Wolverine dealing damage to other creatures equal to its power, we've got Waltz of Rage for 5 mana and Rabid Bite for 2 mana. Only difference here is Waltz of Rage also lets you exile the top card of your library if Wolverine manages to kill a creature, and you can play that till the end of your next turn, which is pretty good value.
Yeah, but you still have to pay the mana cost for that card.
Man, Wolverine seems like he's going to be doing a lot of fighting as this deck. Is there any way to protect him?
I mean, he does have Regenerate, but you still need a little bit of extra, what are you going to protect him from, like Path of Exiles and stuff?
Yeah.
So really, you just need to give him some hexproof.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. So we're going to protect our Anger Being with Gaia's Gift, Horde Vigor, Overprotect, and Snakeskin Veil. They all give him either indestructible, but mainly hexproof. And they also give him +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, make him even bigger.
Make him stronger.
Yeah, it's already scary. Let's make him bigger.
Yep, give him some +1/+1 counters, or just make him bigger. If you're already doubling and they're like, they've already said, oh, I'm not going to block because it's only 18 damage.
Yeah.
He's only an 8/8. He's only hitting me for 16. And then you, bam, +3/+3, and you kill somebody.
You're dead. But just in case you're not.
Yep, just in case we killed 1 or 2 players, we're out of steam, we need to draw some more cards. So these are our few card draw spells. We got Hunter's Insight, which you're going to draw a ton of cards. Return of the Wild Speaker. Explore lets you play lands but also draw more cards. Faithless Looting is just a great red draw spell.
And arguably the best card in this deck with how much times they're going to target Wolverine to attack people is Season of the Growth, because every time you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, Wolverine, you're going to draw a card.
Yep.
So what if Wolverine, in all of his strength and capacity, can't kill creatures? What can we do in those moments?
If we're playing against some opponents that only have some strong Pillow 4T-ness and they're not playing many creatures for us to fight, let's just fight our own creatures.
Yeah. Let's do damage to Wolverine to make him bigger. Yeah.
Deal damage to Wolverine or fight him. So we have Cunning Spark Mage, which you can tap to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. We also have Frost Wielder. We can do the same thing. Prodigal Pyromancer, Volshock Sorcerer, and Burning Anger.
Oh, put Burning Anger on Wolverine. Gross.
Burning Anger is a great enchantment to make Wolverine just kill people.
Yeah, off of a tap. And then you can still play all your spells.
Off of a tap. And it still gets doubled with Wolverine's ability.
Well, what if like we're just stuck and we can't do anything with Wolverine? Like we went pretty heavy on like having Wolverine attack people. Can he attack our own shit?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Of course we can. Why not? We got Brash Taunter. It's a great card. He's cheap. And if you fight Brash Taunter,
nothing happens.
Well, no, something does happen.
Well, Wolverine doesn't. Nothing happens to Wolverine.
Nothing happens to Wolverine. He won't die because it's only 1 damage.
But your opponents will.
But your opponents will get hit. And also we have Vrondis, Rage of Ancients. So if you have all your peeners can peen Vrondis, and you can make some dragons to hit people with.
Yeah. Or Wolverine can just, give him a little love tap and get a 5/4 red-green dragon.
Yep. If your opponents aren't playing any creatures to remove, you just have Wolverine butt heads against Vrondis, and you get extra dragons.
Nailed it.
And then you throw some dragons in people's faces.
What a good deck tech.
This is a great deck. This seems like a lot of fun. Well, let us know if you want to see a video or a gameplay with us playing all the secret lairs, and we'll try to put something together.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Bye.